Welcome to Attainable Green. I'm Jess, and today we're going to do an update on my Catasetum orchids. I've been a little bit behind on my updates, so this is going to be a combined December and January update. This month, my plants are in the dormancy stage. Some of them have lost all of their leaves, and some still have their leaves on them. About a third of my plants are in full dormancy. Basically, that means it lost all of their leaves, and it's just holding on for better weather. A few of the bulbs have shriveled a little bit, but I'm not too concerned since most of the newer bulbs are still nice and plump. The other 2/3 of my collection are in the process of losing leaves. Some are a little bit more advanced than others, some with more yellow leaves than others, and some that just want to hold on to green leaves as long as they can. So let's get into some specifics. My Clowesia Grace Dunn crossed with Marmodia Jumbo Bacia has been in spike for a while, and the buds had started to show. However, the spike is starting to look kind of weird, and I think it's drying out, so I don't think that I'm going to have blooms on this one this year. My Catasetum Portagee star crossed with Catasetum lucis is having a new growth. I'm not sure if this is a spike or some new leaves, so we'll have to wait until it gets a little mature to make a determination. A few of my Catasetums ran into a couple of problems. Some are easy to fix and some are not. So the first one is the Clowesia Rebecca Northen. This plant created 2 new growths this year. The smaller growth started to rot, and I decided to remove the bulb to prevent further infection. Also, I decided to unpot this plant since the moss seemed to be staying wet way too long. My Catasetum Grace Dunn crossed with Marmodia ignea seems to have an issue with the pseudobulb. It looks like somebody or something ate part of the pseudobulb. I'm not sure if it's a slug, snail, or even some ants, but right now there's a couple of parts that are dented and hollowed out. I'm putting this plant in quarantine, and hopefully this plant won't be eaten up anymore. My Catasetum tenebrosum crossed with callosum has the worst problem so far. It looks like this plant was dry for a very long time, and then we had a bit of rain, and it swelled the pseudobulb to the point where it caused some fractures. The bulb started to crack, the open wounds got infected, and it seems like mold and rot set in. Looking at this bulb, I decided that I should separate it from the back bulb and see how serious is the damage. I decided to cut the bulb in half and see how far the rot has progressed. It looks pretty serious, and the only clean tissue is less than 1/4 of the original bulb. So needless to say, I'm not saving this one, and this plant, unfortunately, is not going to make it. Luckily, I have a replacement plant. For some reason, I decided to buy 2 of these plants. So the second one is in much better health, and I'm not too concerned about losing this one this time. All of my other Catasetums are doing pretty well. They're still pretty healthy, and I'm keeping an eye out for any new growths or spikes. But so far, this is a transition period, so I'm not expecting any new developments happening anytime soon. Right now, none of these plants are getting any water, and I'm trying to keep it as dry as possible. These plants have been dry for several weeks already, and it will probably be a couple months before I start watering them again. It's normal for Catasetums to be dry during this period, so I'm not going to water them. The only water they may get is if they have a new growth and the roots are about 3 inches long and are ready to absorb water. Other than that, I'm trying to keep it as dry as possible. I don't want to deal with any rot issues, and this is probably the best way in my environment to prevent that. I'm not planning to repot my orchids until the new growth starts. I'm going to wait until I can see a shoot, but no roots. I definitely don't want to damage any of the new roots, so that's the sweet spot where I'm going to be repotting my plants. This year, I'm going to test a couple of media mixes for my plants. I'll do full sphagnum moss, self-watering setup, or the PET method. I tried using a mix of leca and bark with some of my Catasetums, and they just weren't hydrated enough. So definitely moss is the way to go in my environment. This is about the 3rd year growing Catasetums, and last year is when I got the bulk of my collection. So I am still experimenting and figuring out what works best in my environment. I know spider mites is an issue when the season gets warmer, so I'm going to be taking some preventative steps to make sure that I don't have that same problem next year. Well, that's it. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel, Attainable Green, for all the latest updates. And hit the bell so you never miss an episode. Bye!